Todd Uhlir. Powered by Window World of Lincoln and SetTheBarSups.com.
All right. Good morning. Is that me? All right. Let's have technical difficulties.
There we go.
We got it?
Good now.
Good morning. We're
Good
set
morning.
here. Happy New Year. This is the first show since the new year. We had a little hiatus there for the holidays. And so welcome to episode 65 of the Power Hour right here on 93.7 The Ticket and streaming on the Ticket FM. I'm your host, Todd Uhlir, two-time national champion, and we're officially turning the page and leveling up. All right, we've got a lot to cover today with Tristan, my cohort here. We've got the college football playoffs. They're delivering some pretty good drama. We've got the NFL playoffs starting today, right? And they're kind of going to start separating the contenders from the pretenders. Huskers men's basketball, they're playing today right after the show. They're into Big Ten play now. And of course, this crazy, absolutely wild transfer portal. I don't know what to believe most of the time on social media. I don't know if it's true. And I don't do a ton of, fact checking. So, but we're going to get into that today. And also today we're going to set the tone for the year because every year inside of my online coaching, we do a one-word goal for the year. And last year, 2025 was dominate. And this year is rise. So rise is about growth. It's about being relentless. It's about discipline when things get hard and belief when the path isn't clear. So whether we're talking championships, rebuilding momentum, or mindset, today's show is about who's rising and why. Once again, this Power Hour is proudly sponsored by Window World of Lincoln. Visit windowworldlincoln.com and Set the Bar Sups, helping you fuel performance, recovery, and consistency every single day. Go to setthebarsups.com. All right, it's a new year. It's a new mindset. Let's rise. The Power Hour starts now. So let's start the first segment, powered by Window World of Lincoln. And we're going to talk college football playoffs. Obviously, 2 games last night. We had, on this show, we hadn't got to talk about the previous couple games because we didn't have a show. And that's fine. We're going to stay on point with just the 2 games because it's enough. Ole Miss, Miami, Thursday night. That might be one of the better college football playoff games that I've got to watch. And it was awesome. Except for the fact I wanted Ole Miss to win. I don't know about you, Tristan.
I was rooting for Ole Miss, yeah.
I was rooting for Ole Miss. Now I might not be if what I heard is true. Dylan Raiola committed to Ole Miss. Did you hear that?
I have not heard that. So as an Oregon fan, I'm pretty crushed right now. I have seen a little bit of him going to Oregon, and I don't see him fitting in that Oregon scheme, so I'm hoping that's not the case. So if he's going to Ole Miss, he's going to Ole Miss.
I just saw somebody sent me Dylan Raiola committed to. Now, I don't know. Once again, I have not had time this morning to fact check.
Trinidad Chambliss, who's
right,
their current head quarterback, his waiver got denied for an extra year. So I think they were possibly planning on him returning. Now that he's not, they needed a guy. Raiola might be that guy. So
it could be. So that's some interesting news. But that game, back and forth, I just don't like Miami. And a lot of people were happy that the SEC lost another game because we're Big Ten fans. So I just don't want Miami to ever win. Just don't like them, period. But, it is what it is. They won. It was a great game. I thought, both teams just were hitting hard. It was just a great college football game. and glad I got to watch it. It was on my birthday, so I turned 51 on
Happy belated
Thursday.
birthday.
So yeah, so I'm getting up there, guys. 51. I got to trim up the beard now that Christmas is over. I don't have to be Santa Claus for my grandkids anymore. We'll get that done on Monday at Royal Image Salon. Shout out to Kent, who's been cutting my hair since I was like 12 years old. Even though I don't have a lot of hair to cut, he cuts my beard and does a great job. His son Lane played at Nebraska, Lane McCallum. So
Out of Norfolk, right?
Yeah, out of Norfolk. Yep. So that started off the semifinal kind of week. And then last night, the absolute obliteration of the Oregon Ducks by Indiana just is. And this is probably the biggest story in college football, maybe ever, in my opinion. Taking a team that had the worst losing percentage in all of college football, and in 2 years are now playing. Even if they don't win this game against Miami, which I think they will, they're just too good. Even if they don't win it, it's still like Cignetti just won more games in 2 years than any other coach in the history of college football. Like this is a true once in a lifetime kind of experience. I don't think we probably will ever see this happen again. Not why we're alive, because it's such a fascinating story, and just the amount of Kurt Cignetti reels and things on social media is just at least in my feed. Obviously I'm a college football fan, and most people that are college football fans are probably seeing the same reels I'm seeing. This guy just, I mean, it's discipline, right? And you could see that. You see it in the way his team plays. So if I were another college coach out there trying to rebuild a program, I'm not naming names, I would definitely be taking a lot of notes on how he was able to do this with 0 5 stars. I believe they said they have 0 5 stars on the team, correct? Mm-hmm. So, and why I like it so much is because it just reminds me of what Coach Tom Osborne did, right? Coach Tom Osborne didn't have the greatest recruiting classes. He built a program based on discipline and, a system that worked, right? Cignetti talks about the guy has to fit in the system, right? And if he doesn't fit in the system, I mean, you've got all these wheels turning, and if the guy doesn't fit, it's going to clog up that wheel, right? So it's just a phenomenal story in college football. Am I happy that it's Indiana? Absolutely not, but it is. And, we get to witness this great rebirth of I wouldn't even say a rebirth, just a birth, a birth of a college football program, right? Like these guys were non-existent for years. I mean, years. And it just comes down to show you what can happen if you really put your mind to it and have the right leadership, have the right coaching, have the right players all in the same place at the same time. And, it's not the first time Cignetti's done this at a program, right? Like he's done it everywhere he goes. And, he just keeps taking it to the next level. And then you start hearing, will the Raiders hire Cignetti? Like I've heard that. And why would he want to go there? He's got $11 million a year to stay at Indiana. I don't know how much more money you want.
And especially when you've built something like this, like a unicorn of a football program. This doesn't happen. He's done that.
But we all know at some point what happens to every great program, right? We all know. I mean, people figure it out, right? Like, this guy came out of left field. I always say it was kind of like the quarterback that Seattle. He was what's his name? I can see him.
Wilson, possibly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Russell Wilson. He gets drafted to Seattle. He goes to 2 Super Bowls right away, and then they figure him out, right? Let's even Patrick Mahomes, right? Like they figure you out, right? So, and that's iron sharpens iron. Like Oregon's got to go back to the drawing board, and figure out, okay, where can we get better at? And they will, right? They will figure it out. It's a great coaching staff out there. They've got a ton of money to recruit. And I think they'll be back. They'll be back in full force next year, probably in the playoffs again, right? Ohio State's got to figure it out. If they don't, Ryan Day is going to be fired. Can't believe they haven't talked about firing him already. I've got a ton of Ohio State fans that I know, and none of them have said anything about firing him right now. So I was pleasantly surprised that they didn't. He lost his last 2 games, right? He lost to Indiana, and then lost to Miami, right? And 2 losses at Ohio State could get you fired.
Yeah, I think if he didn't win, I mean, I think last year if he didn't win the Natty, he was
Yeah.
probably getting fired. But I think now we're seeing more than ever, like Kurt Signetti at Indiana, that doesn't just happen. And a lot of times when you get a new head coach and a whole new coaching staff, it's really hard to build something. I mean, Iowa State right now has like 20 guys on their roster because everyone left.
Yeah, decimated. I told my son, I said, hey, you could transfer to Iowa State and probably start next year. He said, no, thanks, Dad. But yeah, it's crazy. So, now we've got to wait 10 days for the national championship. It seems like a long time, but I'm sure it won't take that long. But it seems like a long time between it. And then you also think that, the portal closes on the 16th, right? I believe it's January 16th. So these guys, could be playing in a national championship and declare for the portal the next day. You just don't know. The portal's crazy. We'll talk a little bit more about the portal in the second segment, but how as a coach, and I mean, Oregon last night was down to like 6-string running back or something. I don't know. They
had 3 running backs on the roster, 2 of them that were questionable going into the game. I guess they had some linebackers at practice were working out with the running backs.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy to me. And I think you're going to see that with the limited roster, right? Especially playing this many games into the season, right? You're going to have injuries. Like, it's college football. These guys hit hard. There's going to be injuries. And you better be deep at every position, but it's hard to be deep at every position when you're limited to 105 guys. I know you can only put 11 out there at a time, but it's pretty tough. And I mean, you look at teams like the Detroit Lions, and we'll talk about the NFL playoffs here shortly, but absolutely decimated in the secondary with injuries. Like, they're pulling guys, that were still like working regular jobs off the street to come play because they were hurt so much. And I like the Detroit Lions. I'm not a Detroit Lions fan. I'd love to see them win a Super Bowl because they haven't, but and I really like Dan Campbell, except for some of his questionable. I mean, he's a go for it on 4th down and not kick the field goal type of guy, and he always has been, but I think that's cost him some games. Take the points, man. Take the points. So even in college football, you're going to have to look at injuries are going to be a big thing. And I think that hurt Oregon. Obviously it was a much closer game the first time they played. It's hard to beat a good team twice. And then much less beat them the way Indiana beat them, right? And when it's not your night, it's not your night. I had one of those. I played in a state championship in 1991. We had beat Norfolk Catholic the first game of the year. We'd rolled everybody else up to that point, and literally nothing we could do was right. Like, I think we threw 4 passes that game, and Aaron Hughes intercepted all 4. He still holds the single season interception record with like 28 interceptions in a season. Like, literally, he caught every pass we threw. Like, really, what's going on? When it's not your night, it's not your night, and it hurts, but it also feeds the fire, right? Because the next year we came back with even more fire and made sure that, nothing stood in our way, and we claimed the state championship. So I think, a lot of these programs, and I heard this, and I have not fact checked this, but the average age of the Indiana roster is 23.
I actually, yeah, when you brought up the Indiana Oregon game, I looked that up. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why Signetti has had so much success is he has guys that have been playing 3-4 years of football at the college level already.
Average age is 23. Just to put that in perspective, the average age of the Green Bay Packers is 25.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty much a pro team, right?
These are some grown men out there that are playing against. I mean, you have to think if any team's playing a freshman, you got a 5-year age gap.
And so you take that and you flip it on, and not making excuses whatsoever, but you take it and flip. Oh, Nebraska was the youngest roster in the Big Ten, right? Which
it's tough to compete that way.
It's tough. I mean, those years make a difference, and it's just that 3 more years of training every day, nutrition every day, plays every day, film work every single day. You just see more, right? And those guys are in just more discipline, understand what their job is better. Signetti literally has a pro football team playing at the college level. I would probably put Indiana against the Raiders, and they would compete just fine. I would guess, don't you?
I'm not sure if they would compete. I mean, you have to think, even the Raiders have all pro players. I mean, they have like Max Crosby, and they have, Geno Smith, who wasn't great this year. He's been in the NFL for years.
Just saying, I think they could compete. I'm not saying they would win.
Yeah. Indiana's defensive line is unbelievable. Even pros would probably struggle, going one-on-one with a few of those guys.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of buddies that played pro football, and they said the speed of the game is, they said, the difference from high school to college was drastic. And they said that it's even more drastic when you go to pro. But man, I'm telling you, Indiana looks like a pro football team to me. Miami's defense looks like a pro football team to me, right? I don't think their offense is all that great. That Tony kid is really what they have, and their running back. I'm not a Carson Beck fan at all, so I'm hoping he gets sacked every single play, just for fun, just to see him why he's always got that kind of whiny face. But yeah, so that's it. It's crazy college football playoff. It's a lot of games. I think it's too many games. I think we've got to figure out, how do we potentially get rid of the championship games? Because you look like Indiana, I don't know what they are, 16-0. They 16, 15-0.
15-0, I think right now.
It's a lot. That's a lot of when we won the national championship, we were 13-0. Right.
Yeah, and that's winning the Natty, and Indiana's 15-0, and they still have another game.
They got another game. I mean, they potentially 16 games. That's crazy to me. It's a lot of college football games for these guys. And once again, injuries. Playing that long this season. Will these kids start losing the love of the game right by this time? Granted, they got 10 days to prepare, so I think Signetti said they got 2 days off, which is nice. So, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of football games, and don't get me wrong, they're doing it for the revenue from TV and stands and concessions and all that stuff. But still, so I think it's going to be a great story with Mendoza. I heard last night on the thing, Miami wouldn't even let him walk on, and now he's the Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I think that's what Signetti says. You got to find kids with chips on their shoulders, right, to play, and not just 5 stars, right? 5 stars don't have chips on their shoulders. They've been pretty much, fed this thing that you're so amazing their entire life, right? I was not a star at all, Tristan. So. I came into Nebraska with a lot to wanting to prove a lot to a lot of people, much less just myself, right?
Yeah, and that's what this Indiana roster is. 0 5 stars. These were all guys. I mean, plenty of them are transfers, but they went to smaller schools, places where they were doubted out of high school, and then they get to a point in their career where they're good enough to transfer to Indiana, and they get to Indiana and they show that they're some of the best players in the country.
How long can Indiana keep up this kind of like? I mean, obviously there has not been. He's been there 2 years. It's not like you're developing kids, right? He's bringing kids in that can play now, and that's cool. Like, how long can he keep that up?
I honestly think this is something that's sustainable. I think other teams are probably going to catch on to how Signetti did it, where he's like, all right, I'll bring in some 5th-year guys, even 6th-year guys, and they'll be the guys that lead us to just wins. But I think other teams are now going to see this. But Indiana, I mean, even them playing in the college football playoff right now, they have over 10 transfer portal commits. Like, they have guys already in the transfer portal that are coming. And
why wouldn't you want to go play there? You're gonna
exactly. I mean, if I'm a 5th-year guy and I have 1 year of college football left, why not play for a coach like Signetti, obviously, but also a program that, all right, we're going to go win. And honestly, these guys are probably set up for the NFL way better now, just playing for a good program under a good coach, and they're set up for success.
Well, winning helps, right? Like, Trinidad Chambliss was not on any radar whatsoever this year. To now he's the number 4 quarterback in the draft. That's crazy to me. That this guy came from, obscurity to rising to be now, hey, I'm the number 4 quarterback in the draft. That's crazy. I was watching a commercial yesterday, and it's an AT&T commercial, and it is this guy switching to AT&T, right? And it was talking like, I'm committing to AT&T. I didn't know that was Trinidad Chambliss all year.
Yeah.
Like, I had no clue that that's who that was. And then I'm like, that's Trinidad Chambliss. That's crazy. I was like, that's nuts. Pretty interesting. And this is life-changing stuff, right? Mendoza wins the Heisman, now probably the 2nd quarterback to go in the draft, right?
I think he's going to be number 1. I think after the performance yesterday, it was kind of up in the air. I think Fernando, just based on how he played and his football IQ specifically, I think translates to the NFL pretty well.
Yeah, and I now has the Oregon quarterback, does he have another year?
He has another year. He's a redshirt sophomore. He has 2 years left.
He has 2 years.
He wants, which I think is honestly a little tough for Oregon, is that, the transfer portal closes in less than a week, and you don't know if your starting quarterback's coming back or you need to find a guy in the portal.
Yeah, so I think if he won a national championship, he would probably go pro, but I would stay. Like,
that's the tough thing, though, is he's the number 2 quarterback right now, projected to go 2nd overall. What else? You come back for next year, and obviously you're still getting paid millions, but you lose out on, if he doesn't perform well or maybe an injury happens, he's losing out on that high draft pick position.
Potentially, right? I get that, but at the same point, like, Sorsby's making $5 million at Texas Tech. I don't know if Oregon's gonna. I don't know what he made this year. I don't know what Oregon's willing to pay him to come back next year.
Probably,
but Sorsby is making more than Shedeur Sanders is going to make in 4 years in the NFL. Now, there was a signing bonus, I'm sure, which was, I don't know what Shedeur's signing bonus was, but how much money do you need? I don't know. I mean, I think all of us here in Huskerland would take a $5 million 1-year deal and be pretty happy for, like, I don't know how long that would take you to make $5 million, Tristan, at your current.
It would take a while. A little bit, but I mean, I can't imagine being a college athlete and I'm a millionaire as well.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. All right, we got to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk NFL playoffs. We're going to talk more transfer portal. So stay here right here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention, Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
January is your reset button. This January 10th, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping in Lincoln is kicking off our 10-week challenge. We combine high-energy kickboxing, powerful strength training, and simple, proven nutrition to deliver real results in just 10 weeks. For a limited time, get $150 off when you enroll today. No gimmicks, just coaching, accountability, and a community that pushes you to win. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Visit fxblincoln.com and start your strongest year yet at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. 2 locations, South 40th and Yankee Hill, North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, changing lives 10 weeks at a time.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. We're back here on the Power Hour. I'm your host, Todd Uhlir, with Tristan Gomez, and we're going to talk a little bit pro football here. Big time. This is the first year I really don't care because my Chiefs aren't in it for the first time in a long time. Now, people, always kind of gave me crap. They're like, oh, you must be a bandwagon Chiefs fan. I'm like, no, I was a Chiefs fan when Marcus Allen played there. Tristan doesn't even know who Marcus Allen is. That's how long it. No, I'm sure you know. You've heard of him.
I've heard the name.
Yeah. So I loved Marcus Allen. Great running back. So I was a Raiders fan because he was there forever. They drafted Bo Jackson and they traded Marcus to the Chiefs, and I became a Chiefs fan. So I've been a Chiefs fan for a long time, probably 20, 30 years. I don't know when it was.
So you've been through it for a few years.
So we've been through years like this before. Not quite like this. Obviously, we were in all those games, one-score games that we lost. That we had opportunities to win that we typically would win in years past and didn't. And then the injuries and getting beat by the Raiders, that's awful. So let's talk. There's 6 playoff games this weekend. We got 2 today. Rams, Panthers. I think the Panthers beat the Rams not too long ago. I don't know. I don't remember.
They did, yeah. It was a really rainy one in Carolina, and so the Rams are back at Carolina. If you're the Rams, I think you could play anyone in the first round of the playoffs. You are very happy with going to Carolina.
As long as it doesn't rain.
As long as it doesn't rain.
Definitely. And then the big one, I got a bunch of buddies that are Bears fans, a bunch of buddies that are Packers fans, in division rivalry, hate each other. This is going to be a good one. Bears Packers tonight at 7 p.m. Green Bay is favored by 1.5. The Rams are favored by 10.
Which is crazy for a playoff game.
That is absolutely crazy for a playoff game. So that kicks our weekend off. And so there's going to be a couple good games today. And then tomorrow, 3 games. The 49ers and Eagles. I mean, you would have thought this would be, the NFC Championship game, at the beginning of the year. It's the first round. That's crazy to me. So 12-5 49ers against 11-6 Eagles. I just don't think the Eagles are what they were when they won the Super Bowl. So I think they're favored by 6. It is in Philly. I just don't think they're as good. I think depends on kind of the weather too. Obviously, I think the 49ers probably aren't going to play really great if it's cold out there, but it doesn't look like to me that it's probably going to be horrible weather out there by any means. If it was snowing and stuff, I'd really give the Eagles the edge. But I want the 49ers to beat the Eagles just because the Eagles beat my Chiefs. But we'll go there. Bills and Jaguars are next on Sunday at noon. And well, I guess they're the first game. Why they have the 49ers and Eagles listed before the Bills and Jaguars on this app, I don't know. Another pretty good quarterback duo here. It's going to be a pretty crazy game, I think. Jacksonville's favored by 1.5, so it's even the odds maker is going to have this coming down to last second field goal probably. Once again, for all you guys out there that think the NFL is rigged, and I don't know how you would possibly rig it.
I think it would just have to come down to the refs. I mean,
potentially.
There's been a few times, sorry to bash on your Chiefs, but there's been a few penalty calls like roughing the passer or any late hits or anything like that on Patrick Mahomes. And you're just thinking, if that was, let's say, Jackson Dart at quarterback, they let that slide. Like if that's a rookie or a young guy, I get it that Patrick Mahomes is like the face, one of the faces of the NFL, so you want to protect him. But I think at times it does come down to the refs.
We dealt with that for however many years Tom Brady played too.
Exactly.
So you just earn that respect of don't touch him or you're going to get a flag. Right.
Yeah. And I respect it honestly too. If you just let anyone get laid out whenever, especially, the faces of this organization. It's
Yeah, and I do think they try to more so today than they ever have protect the guys that are, fueling the NFL, right? Like these guys are winning and people like them and they're good people, right? Like they're not committing to, violent crimes or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect them. And
I don't think it's rigged. I don't think there's any script or anything like that. These guys are football players. They're not actors. Like they play football.
Some of them go to acting, but
Some of them do.
And then the night game on Sundays, the Chargers and Patriots, the surprising Patriots. To me, that's just a pretty crazy story. May has just had a phenomenal year. Chargers, one of my best friends is like the biggest Chargers fan ever. So he already called me. He's like, since the Chiefs are out, are you cheering for the Chargers? I'm like, no, I'm not cheering for the Chargers ever. Like, are you kidding me? But I'm not cheering for the Patriots either because they can lose every game as far as that's concerned. And then lastly, why they do this on Monday night, probably just because there's so many games. The Texans Steelers. Mike Tomlin's been around for like as long as I've been alive. Seems like he's been coaching the Steelers. He just wins enough, right? Aaron Rodgers in this game. Will he, get hit hard enough to put him out and retire? I don't know. He just needs to retire. I'm tired of seeing Aaron Rodgers for some reason. I didn't much care for him at the Packers, and obviously the Jets debacle just felt like he was going down the same road as Brett Favre. And so, I probably won't even watch that game. Like I could care less about the Steelers or the Texans. No, I'll probably watch it because there's nothing else on. But so a big weekend in NFL football. It's going to really kind of set the tone for what's to come. And, and then you've got the Broncos got the bye, right?
Broncos and Seahawks.
And the Seahawks, like the Seahawks. So the Broncos, obviously AFC division kind of battle with the Chiefs always. And so what they've done out there in Denver with Bo Nix and it's just been it's pretty much what they did with Mahomes in Kansas City. So, kind of looks like we're shuttling in a new era of AFC West domination with the Denver Broncos. Like, I think Bo Nix is pretty legit. Obviously, who's the coach there? I can see Sean Payton's great coach. He's had success at other places. Great coaching staff, great quarterback, great defense. Mm-hmm. They would have been the number one defense. I was actually watching the game, and they're like, if they just hold them here, like they'll be the number one defense. And they got 11 yards and ended up being the number two defense.
I think
total yards
for NFL quarterbacks. I mean, you said it perfectly. Is kind of just what Patrick Mahomes was. Mm-hmm. I think most of it comes down to coaching. Obviously, these players are extremely talented, but I mean, for how many quarterback busts we've seen, or how many quarterbacks just aren't successful in this league, I think it's all just because of the coaching aspect of how much confidence are they instilling in this quarterback, which Sean Payton has done an insane job with Bo Nix, and the same thing Andy Reid has done with Patrick Mahomes throughout his career.
Yeah, I think you got to have that chemistry, right? And if you see teams that, I mean, obviously look at the Raiders. They lack any type of chemistry whatsoever. They, like you said, they have really good players on their team. They lack a lot of chemistry, and that starts with the coaching staff, right? And I think too, it is on the quarterback a little bit too. These guys are making more money per year than the coach.
Yeah,
by a lot. So you've got to kind of, if you want to win, you got to kind of stuff that ego down and say, okay, I'm going to listen to the coach and we're going to create this chemistry. And I thought that's what Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes were able to do for a lot of years, and that's why they were successful. And I think you're seeing that with Sean Payton and Bo Nix is they just really trust each other, and there's really good chemistry there. And I would say the same thing. Yeah, the Rams quarterback. I mean, he's been around forever, right?
Stafford, yeah.
I mean, I think he's older than his coach. So they're pretty close, right? They could, but Sean McVay and him have really good chemistry, and that's why they win a lot of games. So, and I think same thing at Detroit. They just were decimated in the defense, where you got a head coach and a quarterback that are on the same page. And a lot of times there's going to be there. You see in the teams that aren't winning, there's a battle there, right? The quarterback wants one thing, the head coach wants something different. And I would even say, going back to the Rams when Trent Green got hurt and Kurt Warner had to step in, that was not the coach's number one. Like, he couldn't even believe Kurt Warner was on his team, much less. But they made it work, right? And they were able to become the greatest show on turf. So some pretty interesting stuff there. So excited to watch some NFL football, even though my Chiefs are not in it this year. We'll be back next year.
I believe it. I mean, I think maybe this is what the Chiefs kind of needed is, they've been at the top for so long. You have this kind of year. Patrick Mahomes is going to be coming off injury, but I think in his eyes, he's got a lot of career left. He's not shying away, and he expects Super Bowls.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we watched Tom Brady go down with an ACL pretty much similar time as Patrick here did, and then was able to, collect some more Super Bowl rings after that ACL. So, but yeah, it's going to be weird. Not like I went to, the first playoff game in KC last year. Now none of that. Like, it's just different as with not having your team in there. So, so I'm sitting at home on the sidelines, watching everybody else's teams play, and love all the comments I get from, or watching all the comments on how bad the coaching is, and I would have done this or I would have done that. And, the armchair quarterbacks of Facebook land is always interesting to watch over the course of this. So
a lot of people that think they know ball and think they should be on the sidelines.
Yeah. So if I had to pick today, who's going to go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to take the Broncos with that week off. They got a great defense. They got a great young quarterback. I'm going to take them in the AFC. And man, the NFC is just, it's just a madness. I want I want either the Bears or the 49ers in the NFC. That's who I'd like to see. Is that who I think will be there? Probably not. I think the Bears probably lose to the Packers just because they're the Bears and they're not quite there yet. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I agree.
If they can get this first playoff win, I think they're going to be hard to beat after that.
Yeah,
right?
It's one of those kind of just like getting over the hurdle. Once you get over the hurdle, you just take off.
They've been bad for so long that it's like, and that's why I like the 49ers have been in this mix. They've been around. They got a lot of guys that have played in a lot of these playoff games. So I like them probably to go to the Super Bowl out of those two teams. That's who the Rams are going to be tough. It's gonna be a great playoff for the NFL. So it'll be interesting, and then we'll jump back into college football. Actually, we'll have the second round of the playoffs before we have the national championship game. That's just weird to me.
It is. Yeah, we got a lot of fun football, but the schedule is so weird.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So, all right, we're going to go to break, and then when we come back, we're going to finish with the final segment. This segment's been brought to you by setthebarsups.com. We'll be back right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky. I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscaping project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here to close up the show. I'm Todd Uhlir with Tristan Gomez, and so we've talked college football playoffs. We've talked NFL playoffs. We've talked just a little bit about the portal. It's madness. I can't even keep up with it, but I did see somewhere somebody sent me, don't know if it's real, that Dylan Raiola committed to Ole Miss. Maybe the text line can know if that's for real or not. If that's the case, Tristan, you watched Trinidad Chambliss and you watched Dylan Raiola. How do you think that he's going to fit in? They want to say that, our offensive line was that bad, but I tend to say that, you got to be somewhat elusive, right? And I don't think there was much elusiveness there with Dylan, where with Trinidad, he made things happen. Like, I don't see that happening anytime soon, especially coming off an injury like Dylan has. I want Dylan to do well no matter where he goes. I mean, his dad's an ex-Husker. He'll always be a Husker to me. But I just don't see him fitting into that offense as well as Trinidad Chambliss, who was a Division II player. Right?
100%. I think in this day and age of college football, being just a pocket passing quarterback is hard to really be successful with. So hopefully wherever he goes, he does get protection he needs, but also it comes down to him to being able to extend plays, limit the sacks. For as many sacks as he took this year, let's say you put Trinidad back there in his position, I think Trinidad finds a way to avoid quite a few of those sacks. And when you think of great college quarterbacks in the recent age, even Fernando Mendoza, who can sling it and is extremely accurate. We saw last night that he can run the ball pretty well. He can move a little bit, and he's getting out of the pocket, making things happen. So hopefully Dylan has some success, and he needs protection. So hopefully he gets that protection. But in order to be super successful, I think he's going to be a little more elusive.
And lastly, let's talk Nebraska basketball. They're 15-0, first time in school history. They're playing Indiana right after here. They're about to tip off in Indiana. Indiana's favored by 4.5. I don't know how. Must not be too bad of a team. We're ranked number 10. Indiana is not ranked at all, and they're favored by 4.5. But that's Big Ten basketball, right? Like, it's hard to win on the road in Big Ten. So you got Michigan, who's 14-0 in the Big Ten. Purdue, who's 14-1 in the Big Ten. That's really, and Michigan plays Wisconsin today at home. Purdue's hosting Penn State, and UCLA is hosting Maryland in the Big Ten basketball. So good luck to the Husker Hoopers. I hope we go 16-0. I watched more Husker basketball this year so far, starting with the Creighton game. I haven't missed a game. I'm not going to miss this one. I haven't missed a game since Creighton. And that's the most Husker basketball games I've probably watched in a season ever at this point. And I'm not going to miss any more. They've got me. Just love the style of play that these guys go out there and they just out hustle guys. And it's fun to watch. And they're switches. And I'm not a big basketball guy whatsoever, but just watching the way these guys kind of perform as a team and their aggressiveness and their hustle and their grittiness, right? It's just fun to watch. And, I just wish some of that would transfer to our football team a little bit this coming season. These guys are gritty, man.
They're gritty. And it's not like, I think a lot of college basketball teams that do end up having a lot of success because they have kind of just like some hoopers on their team, just some guys that score. Sometimes it's not a team that just plays together extremely well. Like when you watch Nebraska's offense in basketball, move the ball, get good shots. And then also on the defensive side, they hustle like no other. Like, Sam Hoiberg has to be the most annoying guy to have guarding you in the country. I mean, every point guard says it after. They're like, why is this guy locking me up?
Just doesn't stop. Love it. So good luck to those guys out there. And then lastly, real quick, our one-word goal for the year, rise. All right. So rise, we use this because it stands for our relentless pursuit of progress. All right. Not perfection, progress. All right. Also, the I is for intentional, right? Intentional, small daily actions. It doesn't take heroic effort every single day. It takes consistency. S is for strong body. Starts with the strong body, strong mind, strong soul. All right. And then elevate. Love this. Elevate yourself, but not just for yourself, for your family, for your community. Self-mastery comes first, but it never stops with you. So let's rise in 2026. Looking forward to a great year on the show. Got some special guests lined up. It's going to be a fun year. And we're going to watch NFL football. We're going to watch college basketball. We're going to stay in tune with all the sports here in January. It's going to be a fun ride. So thanks for joining us here on the Power Hour. We'll be back next week with more. God bless. Much love. Peace out.